Hi guys, so in today's video we are going to cover an anime called Jack of All Trades, Party of None. The story is about a main character who gets kicked out of his own party, even after working extremely hard for them. So the real question is, what will he do next? Will he build a new party, or will he take revenge on his old teammates, especially his childhood friend who removed him from the party? So let's start the story. At the beginning of the episode, we see our main character Biora, who is fighting a large number of monsters. Despite the monsters coming at him one after another, he defeats them quite easily. It almost looks like he came there specifically to test his strength and improve his abilities. Within just a few minutes, he manages to defeat many monsters. Soon even more powerful monsters appear, but he still keeps fighting them. One day, the leader of the famous heroes party, Oliver, calls Oren for a meeting. Oren thinks it might be a joke, but Oliver quickly reveals the truth. The party has decided to remove Oren from the team. Oren is shocked. After all, the Heroes Party was formed 8 years ago, and Oren was one of its founding members. Together they reached S rank, and they were the first team to reach the 94th floor of the Southern Great Dungeon. Because of their incredible achievements, people across the kingdom started calling them the Heroes Party. But recently, during a large joint raid, they saw how powerful other S rank parties were. Compared to the support magic used by other enchanters, Oren's magic looked weak. The party believes that Oren is no longer strong enough to keep up. Oren tries to explain that he originally wanted to be a swordsman. He only became an enchanter because the party needed one. He even created new original spells to help the team survive deep inside the dungeon. But the others have already made their decision. They have already found a new enchanter to replace him. With no other choice, Oren leaves the Heroes Party. Before he goes, one of the members reveals the nickname people secretly used for him behind his back. They called him Jack of All Trades, someone who can do many things, but doesn't truly excel at any of them. Instead of breaking him, those words ignite something inside Oren. He declares that one day he will prove them wrong and become a great adventurer capable of doing anything. Later, after finishing another dungeon run, Oren registers his progress at a teleportation crystal and prepares to head home. But on the way, he overhears a group of adventurers arguing. It turns out they abandoned a girl inside the dungeon because they believed saving her was too dangerous. Oren is furious. He knows what it feels like to be abandoned by people you trusted. Without hesitation, he rushes back into the dungeon. Using both support magic and sword skills, he fights through a large group of monsters and manages to rescue the girl. The girl thanks him and introduces herself as Sophia. To show her gratitude, Sophia invites Oren to dinner. At first Oren refuses because he didn't save her expecting a reward, but Sophia insists, and eventually he agrees. During dinner, Oren notices the crest on Sophia's cloak. She belongs to the Silver Rabbits, one of the largest and most famous guilds in the entire kingdom. While they are talking, another woman suddenly appears. Her name is Selma Claudel, Sophia's older sister. Selma is not just any adventurer. She is the leader of the Silver Rabbits S-rank party and is considered the most powerful enchanter on the continent. She is also famous for revolutionizing how adventurer parties work. Selma introduced the idea that every party should be divided into 3 roles: attackers who defeat enemies, defenders who protect the team, supporters who strengthen allies using magic. This system completely changed how adventurers explored dungeons. Ironically, it was this same system that caused Oren to become an enchanter in the first place. At first, Selma misunderstands the situation and thinks Oren is trying to flirt with her younger sister. After Sophia explains everything, Selma apologizes. And she makes Oren an interesting offer. The Silver Rabbits are planning a training expedition for their new recruits. Experienced adventurers will guide the newcomers through the early floors of the dungeon for 3 days. Selma wants Oren to join the expedition and help them. Oren is surprised by the offer. After all, he was just expelled from the Heroes Party for being too weak. Even though Selma says she respects his abilities as an enchanter, Oren has lost confidence in himself. He initially refuses. However, Sophia admits that she will also be participating as a trainee, and she would feel much safer if Oren were there with her. Oren says he will think about it. Later that night, Oren visits an old shop owner who has always supported him. When Oren explains that he is no longer part of the Heroes Party, he assumes people will lose respect for him. But the old man tells him something encouraging. Even if the world doesn't recognize it, Oren will always be a hero in his eyes, and he believes many people will appreciate Oren's efforts in the future. Those words give Oren new strength. Maybe being kicked out of the Heroes Party wasn't the end of his journey. Maybe it's just the beginning of a new adventure. The next morning, Oren meets Selma again. She notices that he looks much more energetic than before, and when she asks him about it, Oren simply replies that being free from the hero's party has given him a new sense of freedom. With that, a brand new chapter of Oren's adventure begins. Episode 2, we see Baiora arriving at Selma's guild, which is known as the Knights of the Silver Rabbit. The guild master is surprised to see him, and introduces himself. He also mentions that he has heard a lot about Baiora and that he used to be part of the hero party. Baiora asks him directly about the mission, and what exactly he will have to do after joining. The guild master says that Selma will explain all the detail. Then Selma explains the mission plan. She says that they need to complete a dungeon expedition within 3 days. On the first day they will clear the floors up to the 21st floor, on the second day they will go deeper, and on the third day they must reach around the 50th floor. Later we see the guild master talking privately with Selma. He says that Baiora is actually very powerful and that the hero party stayed popular for so long mostly because he also explains that Baiora's magic output and reaction speed are even better than Selma's in some cases. Selma also talks about the last mission where Baiora performed incredibly well by using special trap strategies that he created himself. Because of this, the guild master starts thinking about how they can properly use Baiora in the upcoming expedition. Soon Baiora learns more details about the expedition. There will be 10 different parties participating in the event and 5 observers or guides who will monitor the situation and help if something goes wrong. Selma will also be present there. Baiora feels that 5 guides might be too few for so many parties. He suggests that maybe one party should move independently so that weaker teams can still gain proper training experience. After hearing this, Selma realizes that Baiora has already understood that they were hiding some information from him. However, Baiora simply agrees to cooperate. The guild master then tells him that he will receive 2 gold coins at the start, and more payment after the mission is completed. Baiora is surprised because the amount is extremely high compared to what he normally earns in a whole year. Soon we see the scene where all the participating parties gather together. Many of the adventurers look very young and inexperienced. Selma introduces Baiora to everyone and proudly explains that he used to belong to the hero party, and even helped clear extremely deep dungeon floors. When the young adventurers hear this, they become very excited because they believe they now have a real hero guiding them. However, Baiora feels a little embarrassed and tells Selma that she might be praising him too much. After that, he meets one specific team. Surprisingly, the team only has 3 members. First member is Logan, who acts as the attacker and also leads the team. Second member is Caroline, who is a defender. However, instead of using a shield, she relies on her speed to dodge attacks and protect the team. Third member is Sophia, also fights as an attacker. Baiora explains that defenders usually fight in 2 different styles, either with shields or with speed-based defense. Caroline belongs to the second type. Soon the expedition begins and everyone enters the dungeon. While moving deeper inside, one of the girls asks Baiora whether he truly used to belong to the hero party, and why he left it. Baiora refuses to answer and tells them to focus on the mission instead of asking personal questions. Suddenly monsters try to attack them from behind, but they fall into traps that Baiora had already prepared. The monsters are defeated instantly. Baiora explains that there is no need to waste energy fighting every monster. Using traps and strategy is much more efficient. As they continue exploring, they reach around the 20th floor. Baiora begins analyzing his team members. He realizes that Logan has great potential to become a strong adventurer if he trains harder. Caroline's speed is also impressive, but relying only on speed can sometimes be dangerous. Sophia also shows good potential and could become stronger with experience. However, he notices a major weakness. Their teamwork is very poor. Later, Selma's team also reaches deeper floors successfully. After completing the day's progress, everyone registers their results and exits the dungeon. That night, Baiora returns home. While preparing to leave again the next morning, he reads a newspaper and discovers that the hero party has publicly blamed him and spoken badly about him. This makes him upset because people who read the article might misunderstand him. While walking on the road, he suddenly meets a girl named Luna, who is a former member of the hero party. She was actually the only person in that team who always treated Baiora kindly. Luna asks him to return to the hero party and reminds him about their promise to clear the dungeon together. However, Baiora refuses. He explains that after everything that happened, it is impossible for him to return. Even though Luna keeps requesting him, Baiora walks away sadly. Deep inside he remembers that they were all childhood friends, by Aura, Oliver, and Luna. He admits to himself that he also wanted to keep their promise, but after being betrayed by the team, he can never forgive them or return to that party again. And with that, the episode finally comes to an end. So guys, tell me in the comments section how you liked today's episode and this explanation. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your response will decide whether I continue covering this anime or not. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.